Hello and welcome to the NIDA Open Day 2020. We would like to acknowledge the owners of the land on which NIDA stands. We acknowledge the Bidjigal and Gadigal people of the Eora Nation and pay our respect to elders past and present. I'm sitting here in our beautiful makeup room and I'm super excited to have a chat with all of you. I would like to present our Diploma of Screen and Media Specialist Makeup. And I invite you to ask any questions you have at 11 o'clock for our Q&A. About the course, the Diploma of Screen and Media Specialist Makeup Services includes lots of different amazing topics. We have makeup, we have hairstyling, wig making, special effects design, as well as special effects makeup artistry. You have lots of career opportunities, from being a makeup artist on film, TV, theater, but you can also go into wig styling and wig making. Another big part is our special effects, and you can expect wonderful things, creating characters, creating prosthetics, and it's something that's really important for working in the industry, because you have such a wide range of lots of different opportunities. The course is, the duration is 1 year, and it's all face-to-face. So you are full-time at NIDA, most of the time Mondays to Thursdays, and then self-studies on a Friday. Oh, sorry. It's hands-on practical training that really provides you with skills and knowledge in designing makeup, designing, styling hair, creating and making wigs, and designing and making special effects and prosthetics. We try to make sure that everything is industry-driven. And you will be taught by the best teachers that all work in the industry, and also industry tutors, industry guests. Our course is supported by organizations such as Pinchgut Opera and Foundation Theatres. That includes the Lyric Theatre or the Opera Center. Our students always participate at Pinchgut Opera. They go and visit the Opera Center and really network with industry professionals. What is really amazing about NIDA, and every year I'm getting very excited about that, is that you have the opportunity to be part of live performances. There are live performances on stage, film, and it's all very much industry based, and you collaborate with other students of NIDA, and you work on the most amazing productions like Weimar Cabaret, on your showcase, on showcases of other students of NIDA, and also Triple J music videos, as well as Festival of Emerging Artists. The training includes placements on NIDA productions, as I said, and you also have the opportunity to find your own placements and really work as much with the industry as possible. All our tutors are very helpful and guide you and give you all the knowledge they have, and to really dive into the industry and be part of the industry from the very beginning. At the end of the course, you will have your own showcase, the Diploma of Screen and Media Showcase, and you work with wonderful students of the Ettinghausen Dance Company, and you will really create your own character. You will create your own little showcase that shows your work. You can really personalize your makeup, your hair, your wig application, and make it all yours. The showcase is held in one of the theaters here at NIDA, and there are always industry participants, producers, agents, and you can expect a wonderful, wonderful showcase that is, most of the time like third or fourth last week of the course. That means you really plan the whole year to present a fantastic showcase. I hope I could give you a really good overview of the course, and I also hope you have lots of questions that you can ask later on in our Q&A. I'm very much looking forward to have a chat with you later on, and thank you so much for your time. Hello.
Hello.
How are you, Brianna?
Good.
So lovely to see you again.
Good to see you too, Sandra.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for taking your time today to have a little chat with me.
Yes. Thanks for having me.
Brianna, to introduce you, I had the pleasure to work with you at our last course that finished, as far as I remember, end of 20, that was December.
29.
Yes.
Yes, December 15th we finished, yes.
It seems like such a long time ago. And I also know, Brianna, that you came to us as a mature student.
Yes.
And you already had a career in hairdressing. And I'm wondering, what was it that you decided, I stopped my career and go back to college?
Yes.
Try to get into NIDA and start all over again.
Good question, Sandra. So I had done hairdressing previously, and I did have a small business, wig making and making hairpieces. So originally I saw NIDA at Comic-Con, which is something that I really like. I love pop culture, character work. So it really intrigued me to investigate more, because I do like the creative side as well. So I looked into it, and I was just so excited to be accepted. So for me, it was kind of an easy choice. But again, yeah, difficult to start a new career. But in saying that, with the support of the educators, it was a very exciting time. So I guess it was good to try something new, and to really take another challenge.
Would you have any advice for like students or people that are interested but that are a bit worried? Because I guess it's something, you know, when you're a more mature student, you already have a career, it can be quite difficult to make this decision.
Look, it is, and it was a big decision, simply because I did still have to work. So I did maintain a job as well, because I did have other life commitments. But certainly in thinking of the reward at the end, and the other skills that I could add on top of what I was doing. So I'd never done makeup before. I come from a place where I'd never done makeup, never really been around makeup artists. But I certainly knew that if I had that skill, I could grow my business in certainly a different way, in just even helping the existing clients that I have with their makeup, with their style, with their look, but then also do creative stuff in my own time, or just take on small projects to keep the creative, to keep the creative influence within, in the same realm of what I was doing.
And let me also ask you, how was it then for you? So as you said, you got accepted.
Yes.
And I remember quite well when I met you the first time and you said to me, I have no idea about makeup. Remember
None.
that? And how was it then for you this year at NIDA? Was it something that you really expected? Like it would be that much fun? Or how was the year for you?
Look, it was exciting. I have to say that it met beyond my expectations, because I really didn't know what I was going into. And I think for me, it was just because I was always used to being behind someone doing their hair. Like, to be in front of them is quite different, but it really changed my perspective on, I guess, on the service of hair and makeup going together. It was kind of a hurdle that you have to, that I just had to get over. And I found that I had to be more confident being in front of somebody.
Do you feel like the course and working in all these different productions at NIDA, and you did some fantastic productions, do you feel that helped you to give you this confidence?
100%, because without that, you can learn all you want. But actually having that hands-on experience, and I guess for me, as a student, in hindsight, I would have actually liked to have taken the time every week to have gone and practiced on people. So that would be kind of my advice. So learn those skills, like from the first classes that we did with you. Okay, you learn a sheer beauty makeup, message Facebook friends, family, strangers, and get out there and do it, because that's how you become good. That's how you get your confidence to go on to the next.
I guess that's a really good advice for students to do so. My other question, because you mentioned you still had to go and work during the course. Do you have any advice there for students?
Absolutely. Take any opportunity that you can. With Sandra, with anyone else, any of the educators, if you get offered anything, take the opportunity, because again, it's all life experience. So then you know what tools to take on a job, etiquette of the job, everything that you need to know, and use what you've learned. And working with people who you don't know, because things can change, situations can change. Maybe you get there and they, you have to work with a smaller table than you'd expected for all of your equipment. Sometimes you have to improvise. It gives you that little edge.
Yeah.
Also to you know, team up with someone who's more experienced to see what they have in their kit, to see their tips and tricks in real life is
I
very
guess and
valuable.
that's what it is, right? As a makeup artist and hairstylist, we never stop learning.
No,
And
absolutely
you
not.
always pick up new things. Sorry, Brianna, for interrupting. I can see now we have the wonderful Annabel here.
Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, thanks.
Annabel, you were one of our beautiful students in 2018.
Yes, yeah.
Wonderful to have you here, and I hope you, as well as Brianna, can give a little bit of an insight of the course. I'm curious, what was it for you? I asked Brianna before already. What was it for you that you decided I have to come to NIDA? The Diploma of Screen and Media is my course.
Right. Well, prior to being at NIDA, I was at University of Sydney doing an arts degree, spending most of my time doing like theatre shows and comedy shows rather than my actual degree. So I spent a lot of time and a lot of my spare time doing crazy makeup looks on myself. And I sort of was thinking, I'm spending most of my time doing that sort of thing instead of my arts degree. Maybe I should do that instead. Maybe I should do the makeup instead. And as for why NIDA specifically, it has such a long history and, you know, such like roots in the industry, in many industries, like so in the sort of creative industries, and also didn't hurt that it had some government fee help, but also just the sort of connections and the people that I knew I'd be able to work with throughout the course at NIDA. And I guess, yeah, all of the teachers associated are wonderful. And yeah.
May I ask, because you mentioned now you did an arts degree before you went to university. You heard from Brianna, she did hairdressing beforehand. Would you say, because I can imagine there are some interested people out there now that think, oh God, do I need any pre-request, you know, do I know how to do hair, or do I have to know how to you know, draw? What are your thoughts?
So to do this course, all you need is like a basic sort of level of really interest, I think, is the main, and want to learn.
Yeah.
I had no idea about hair before I came to this course. That was the one thing that I was really sort of no idea about before I came. And I came out of it with a very sort of good grounding in hair and wigs and everything, and it's now what I actually mostly work in with is with wigs right now.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing that you both came from such different backgrounds and you're almost two different things now, you know?
Yeah.
I guess, can I say, would you agree if I say like this course gives so many opportunities that at the beginning of the year when you start, you maybe don't even think you could ever go into this direction, right?
Yeah. I definitely I thought I was never going to get a hang of hair.
Yeah. So, Annabel, what did you enjoy most about the training? And also, Brianna, maybe both of you who have wanted to answer, but what was it that you enjoyed most?
I really loved I loved the prosthetics section, because that was something, again, I had no prior experience with, but was really cool, getting to design a character from the sort of design stage, and then realizing that sort of throughout the course, and then finally sort of making it all, which was something I'd never, you sort of have to have somebody else, you know, to start out with, to give you those resources to do something that big. So I really enjoyed that. That was very fun. And also my placement at the end of the year on Pinch Gut Opera was really fun. Everyone was lovely, and it was a great experience. And also loved the drag unit, because that's my little special area of interest. I love drag. So
how much fun is it, right? Creating these different characters, these alter egos. You mentioned before prosthetics. And I mentioned it in my introduction that we do lots of special effects and prosthetics. Could you maybe, I guess we have the time, could you maybe give a little bit like of an insight how it works, because I think when we talk about prosthetics, people think we put a nose on somebody, right? But there is so much more to what we do here.
Yeah, so prosthetics is a really huge, it's sort of, there's special effects and then there's prosthetics. So yeah, prosthetics is really when you make that piece to like go, and it can be very subtle or it can be very very unsubtle. So it can be more like fantasy or more sort of just subtly changing someone's face, and it is a whole process of, you know, taking a life cast of someone's face, then making a plaster cast of that, molding your design onto it, doing another cast of that, and it's about 20 casts or something, you know, before you actually get around to pouring the silicone in. But it's and then the actual application process was wonderful to do on each other, because it gave you a real insight as to what the people you're doing it on, what they're going through. I think everyone.
And I guess good that you mentioned that, because I think it's also important that everybody's really aware of that it's a hands-on course, and that you have to wear quite often lots of, you know, makeup, wigs, and
that's the fun part, I feel, is getting to sort of have that done to you, or do that to someone else. It's sort of, I found it, you know, always really fun to see what, you know, how I'd look at the end of the day,
and how magic happens.
Brianna,
I remember you did a beautiful prosthetic last year, and do you want to tell us more, because I remember you took it to another level with adding I think a bold cap it was, and then creating a mohawk.
Yes. So I did take it to the next level, I guess. So I did a full prosthetics facial piece, and I carried on. I did a bald head, and I carried the black lines and the color sort of through to the ball cap, and then I made a mohawk from just wefts of hair, and then kind of teased it up so it was quite full and big. I loved that project. But yeah, and that's the one thing that I found about the educators, that they really did push me to the next level. Because at one point I thought of just putting a wig on, and Colin was like, no, let's take it next level. Let's learn something else. And I was like, yeah, okay. And I found that with each of my assignments, that it was like, let's go next level. Great. You know, he was like, let's make a mohawk. And I was like, let's make a mohawk. Why not?
I totally agree.
I think that's the wonderful thing about this course. You can really, you can be creative. You have all the resources here to create this magic, to bring things to the next level and to think outside the box, I guess.
Yes, absolutely.
Back, because we already spoke a little bit before opera, Annabel, your placement was a pitch cut opera. Can you tell us a bit more about what it is, and how the production actually works? What was your role?
Right, so me and one of my other classmates were assigned to do sort of hair and makeup for pinch cut opera. So pinch cut is a sort of smaller, and they do more sort of Baroque opera, which is they're sort of resurrecting old opera that not really many people do. So it's a really interesting experience in that way, to sort of like, you know, see something like that. But specifically for, you know, hair and makeup, we were each assigned there were only 2 female sort of opera singers on the show. So those were, and they had to look, you know, quite done up, and the hair was a bit more elaborate. So we were mainly helping them, when helping some of the guys with a bit of makeup here and there as well. So it was mainly spending our time one-on-one with who we'd been assigned with, and sort of, forming a bit of a relationship with them, and doing their makeup every day was really lovely. You got to know these people, and sort of got to learn how to, I guess, relate to performers on quite a, you know, on a very one-to-one level, and sort of, how to sort of be a calm presence in the room before a performance. And
I think that's something really important, right? That this course really shows, and what you can learn here, because it's not only being able to apply the perfect eyeliner. I think there is so much more to it working in this industry, how to deal with talents, how to deal with actors, how to deal with models, because I think it's all quite different.
Yeah, and
if you work in fashion or if you work backstage.
Yeah, I would say that, going into the course, I already knew how to apply makeup to a certain degree, and you learn how to do that a bit more, of course, or a lot more in certain areas. But what I really, really found what I got out of the course was what I put into it, and what I sort of how far I pushed myself, and how far the teachers were willing to go along with me on that.
Absolutely.
And also how much you sort of learn just interpersonally, working with everyone. And that's what I think specifically about NIDA is different, because you're working with actors, you're working with the directing students, you're working with, costume and all sorts of people that really carries through into, jobs.
And I think I can definitely say that makes us different to all the other courses here at NIDA, that you work on these productions and you have all this industry engagement that nobody else can really offer. Briohny, talking about productions, you worked also on quite a few productions, because I remember you did Weimar Cabaret, Triple J videos, emerging artists. Which one, Briohny, was your favorite? Or which one do you remember?
Yes,
best?
my favorite, I think, definitely was the showcase.
Okay.
Because I think by the time I'd gotten there, I was a lot more confident in what I was doing, and I had a lot more ideas for the look that I wanted, and how to go about it, because a lot of it's research, face charts. It's not just getting out there on the day and doing something. So I felt I was more equipped to really pull off something that I really wanted to show, because at the showcase you bring your friends and family to show them what you've learned. So I really think in the look that I did, I could pull out, and I also learned new things as well, because I was at the stage where I was
you
like,
were saying you had to do face charts and lots of research.
yes.
And I think that what it is, right? It's not only makeup application, it's more so really coming up with who and what your character is, right? A story behind it. I remember you did a really amazing character for the showcase. Would you like to explain a little bit what you did?
Okay, so I did a pop art version of Wonder Woman. So yeah, it was really fun. Definitely something that was in my realm, in my interests. But it was just getting that character, like an iconic, because everybody kind of knows what Wonder Woman looks like, but taking that iconic figure and putting a pop art spin to it, but also making it my own, and showcasing exactly what I can do. So we also worked with Eddinghouse and Dance School. So that was also a new challenge as well, working with people who get hot, who get sweaty, who, there's a lot of movement going on, so it's also learning those things. I know when my talent came back after her first rehearsal, that the makeup was almost on the ground. So I was like, okay, rethink it. What do I have to do? So, and it's those learning experiences that you really take it away and go, okay, next time in that situation, I know what to do. But yeah, so I took again to the next level, and I actually made 2 wigs for her, the classic black bobbed wig, which was kind of last minute, but I was like, okay, no, I'm going to do this. She's going to look the best for the, matinee and the evening performance. So again, yeah, and it is like, I felt that I could just really push it to that next level again, just to really get that look that I wanted. I wanted the skin to look very matte, so I took a lot of time to, kind of cartoonish off the page, how to achieve that. I asked always the educators for feedback and help, because they're the ones that have been there before and done it. So I really took that time to really perfect, in the end, to really perfect what skills I'd learned.
And maybe the question for both of you, working on these productions, I guess, also showed you how intense they can be, how time consuming. And as a makeup artist and hairstylist, you're always, I guess, first on set or in the makeup room and last one to go. How was that for you, these long days, these long hours? And what was your experience there?
I mean, sometimes it differs from production to production. Like, I guess for me, like, two good examples would be like doing Opera on the Harbour, where it was everything at once. So I worked on the West Side Story production, and then it was about a half hour, maybe to an hour period of get the wigs on everyone.
Oh, craziness.
Yes. And then about 3 hours of nothing, because they were all in the same wigs for the whole time. But again, they were dancing and doing flips. So we had to make sure that those wigs were on there really tight. And then it was about 10 minutes at the end of everyone get the wigs off. But then something very different would have been Muriel's wedding, where it was 100% go 100% of the time. So I think it's like learning how to switch on and off really quickly and get the job done, and then sort of, I don't know, find other things to do during the 3-hour period where you're doing nothing, or but making sure that when you're needed, you're there and you're switched on and you're ready to go, and you're not sort of taken by surprise or anything.
And to know when to be, I think, present, and when to step back and maybe, I guess, be quiet, or be the one that relaxes the actor and helps them.
It's definitely about reading the room on that. It's sort of about being able to see when people are wanting to joke around and have fun, but also not being the one who's disrupting some quiet. But yeah, because they're the ones who have to go out on stage and do a crazy performance for the next however many hours. So
Brianna, how was it for you? Because I remember, like, there were times, like, the first production, Mama Cabaret, where there was like really busy and then maybe nothing for hours, and we had to find something else to do in the makeup room. So how was that for you, coming from hairdressing, I guess, where you, I don't know, start at 9 o'clock in the morning and you have your clients scheduled?
Easy. Look, I really enjoyed it, I guess, because I am a very prep person. Like, I like to know that I've got everything covered. So in that time, I'd always make sure, like, in my mind, okay, what's coming next? And I always found that there was always a quick change or someone to help. So, you are a part of a team. So you do go and help out people. Maybe they were changing some of the makeup, taking it off. I was always there to lend a hand, to get the water bottle for the talent, to, just really, but still quietly, because I think that, when the actors and actresses are all waiting to go back onto the stage, they want quiet. So it's, you kind of make it as seamless as possible. But I guess, in my downtime, I'd certainly be thinking about the next thing that would be coming, and certainly prepping my station to make sure that I have everything possible that I could need, forward thinking, okay, what if they need a bobby pin? What if they need, a safety pin to if something's happened? I guess that's another part of the job as well, always having, a really good kit to be the, savior if something, something needs to be. And I guess that's kind of where I spent my my downtime or my spare time.
And would you both agree if I say the course can help you on the way to understand that and to give you the skills, but you really have to work on the productions, and you really need the placement to get a feel for.
Yeah, and I would say, like, you've got to be willing, you've got to be present at those things, because you can get by, like, nobody's gonna a lot of the time with these productions, you're expected to give yourself work to do and make sure that you're the one who's got to drive it. You know, you can get by with doing nothing, but it's not going to be, you know, you'd probably, I don't know, you've got to look for your own work, and you've got to be proactive about it, I'd say. And
I think with these placements and these productions, I'm sure you were also able maybe to already, because that's what I always try to tell the students, make the connections now. Don't wait to tomorrow or next week. Start now. Always have, you know, your business card or whatever ready to say to somebody, hey, I'm here, and start from the very first day of your course to really make these connections, right?
Yeah. I think for me, it's sort of like, you know, more about just trying to, I know you're making the connections, but it's sort of about being social and friendly. A lot of it that goes such a long way. You know, you don't have to be going into it with the mindset of, nah, I'm going to make a connection and it's going to, you know, it's about just being generally open and friendly and good to work with is the main thing.
Because
reliable.
I guess, and therefore you're the right people to talk to here. You were both really successful, really early, or even before you finished the course. For example, Briohny, I mean, I know you can't talk too much about it, but you gained an internship at International Feature Film. And you started straight after the course finished.
Yes.
So tell me more about that. How did you even get, I mean, that's, I think, something lots of makeup artists dream of, right?
Yes.
Being part of an international feature film. So how did it happen? And what was the experience there?
Okay, so look, I guess I was lucky. I did work really hard throughout NIDA, and I think that definitely NIDA 100% helped me to get that position. It was open for everybody to apply. I applied, I worked really hard, I made sure, and throughout the course, because you also have to keep in mind throughout the course, all the photos that you take could be on your resume at the end. So that's really important to keep the picture quality for the 3-4 big assessments that you have, really put everything into it. And I think that's what kind of clenched it for me, because again, I'd had no former knowledge of makeup and putting looks together and those things, but I really went to the next level with all of them, just to really show that I was really into character work, that I definitely was someone who had an eye for detail, because I think that's kind of what people in the industry look for. I can't really talk much about the movie, but yes, I'm working on a movie. And I'll try and kind of talk to you about it from the perspective of what I gained from NIDA. Certainly without going to NIDA, I wouldn't have been given that opportunity 100%. Certainly the opportunity, I took every opportunity along the way. So I had proved that, I certainly was dependable and reliable. It is really tough work. I was told that when I studied, but until you're in it, you don't realize how tough it is. It's tough. You have to look after yourself. You use your skills, but it's also a lot of common sense. Working with actors, you kind of have to be quiet, but then present at the same time, which, I learned throughout NIDA as well, working real life. All of the productions we did. It's been really amazing, and it is certainly something that you do need all the skills, because at a drop of a hat, they could say, okay, we need someone to go and do this. We need someone to go and do a touch-up. I am in the hair department, but they still need someone to go, okay, can you do this? Yes, of course I can. They don't want someone to say,
maybe.
Yeah, of course I can. Let me get my equipment. Being prepared, like we learned, being prepared. I'm in hair, but I still have a makeup kit ready to go. Just knowing all those things that I learn at NIDA really came through for me on the job, because I definitely, even though I did hair before, I definitely could not have taken this position before I went to NIDA.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
That's really great to hear. And same like Annabel, you landed some amazing jobs. You already told us before, like you did, I think, West Side Story.
Yeah.
At the Sydney Harbour, you said now Muriel's wedding. What else? And how did you get there? I mean, I think it takes both of you. It's not only, hello, here I am, now I'm done at NIDA, take me. There is so much more to it. Like, and I think also you really need the confidence, apart from, you know, not only the skills and the knowledge of the industry, but also the confidence to knock on doors and say, please, I want to be on your team, right?
Oh yes, it is very sort of like, I don't know another industry that's still sort of like this, where you go and you ask someone, you know, please, can I have a job?
Yeah.
It's sort of, but it is definitely partly who you know. You've got to have the skills to back it up once you get there.
Yes.
But yes, otherwise, what's the point? But I was lucky enough to have a sort of know someone who was doing the head of makeup for that particular production for West Side Story, who, again, people are willing to take you under their wing a bit and give you a bit of a chance, as long as you're eager, you're ready, and you're sort of like, yeah, I guess a little bit persistent, not annoying, but persistent, about wanting to do this and being seen really keen and showing up. And people are, I find that people are generally willing to give you that chance, as long as, and you've got to actually do the thing. So yeah, that's how I sort of got onto West Side Story, which then led to Muriel's wedding, and which has then led to a few other jobs, like with City of Sydney and stuff. Yeah, which has been, again, it's one thing leads to another. And it might take a while at the beginning, which it certainly is for me. Like, there's sort of gaps between them, but, you know, you just sort of build it, you keep building.
But I guess that's sometimes the positive or the negative of our industry. And I think that's the tough part, right? To keep motivated.
Definitely.
And to go. May I also ask you both, like, what, you know, to maybe to help others that want to come into a NIDA, what would you say to yourself if you know, have the chance again to give yourself advice before coming to NIDA, or in this process of you know, deciding you want to come to NIDA and be part of the Diploma of Screen and Media?
I mean, I guess I've already said this, but you know, you get out of it what you put in, and you have the choice to take your assessments as far as you want, as far as possible, you know, within reason. So
sorry for interrupting, because we haven't really spoken about that, and I know lots of people are always a bit scared of when they hear the word assessment, right? Right. What can they expect when we talk about assessments? It's definitely not a 400 question multiple choice test, right?
God, no. Which I was immensely thankful for. I'd had quite enough of that in my arts degree, but it was it's practical assessments. So it's making a character. It's something, so, you know, that you can have so much fun with if you let yourself, you know, choose something that you're like. With the assessment, you can do what you want inside those parameters. Do something that you're interested in, that you want to do. You know, don't feel like you have to do something else in order to fulfill the assessment. Like, I don't know. I found that, like, some people got very in their heads about what the assessment, what they thought they should do, rather than like doing something that they were really interested in, sort of fitting in their interest into the assessment.
Would you agree? Because that's what I've also heard from Brianna, and I think we're on the same page here. I think assessments are very industry-based, and you can use all your assessments to really go out there and show them and show your work.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's all about, for me, I went like quite a lot into my complete look, you know, from hair to nails to costume to shoes to, like, I really polished my looks because I thought, well, if I'm going to do it, then, you know, a massive difference to your photos. It makes a massive difference to show that, you know, you have a cohesive look. And it also teaches you things like, okay, with that costume I can't do that hair, or put the costume first, you know, just those little things.
And
I'm really sorry, ladies, to interrupt you, because I would love to talk to you here, but we have to wrap it up. It was so wonderful to talk to you, really interesting, and I hope lots of interested students loved it.
Yeah, go for it.
I could talk and listen to you here. Thank you so much for your time. I wish you all the best, guys. Lots of amazing jobs to come, and I hope I see you soon.
Yes, thank you very much.
And good luck, everyone.
Yes, good luck.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Sandra. Bye. Woo, how do I get out of this thing?
And then I press. Oh. Okay, now it's time for Q&A. Yeah? Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. I get the information now from my team behind me. The Q&A starts shortly on another Zoom meeting. It was a pleasure to hopefully give you a little bit of an insight in the wonderful world of makeup, hair, and special effects. And I hope I see some of you here next year. All the best. Thank you.